Hello there, this is RJB for RJB and today's video is sponsored by RJB from RJB who's welcoming you on RJB's behalf to RJB. And today we have, I hope, a great match in store for you to watch and be entertained by. So let's dive into the match and see what we are looking at. We got two players. Player JJab, which means fake in Korean. Not sure who it is, but we're gonna call him JJab. And he's up against Manor User, who, if you've looked at the title, you should by now know is the player Minchul, who is a formidable fastest map and normal map player, although I'd say he is more formidable on fastest map than he is on the normal maps, although he's very good at normal maps. He is like, now, a very high level amateur, but on fastest map he is considered to be maybe the top 5 or top 3 out of all the fastest map players. He is brilliant, but he's also arrogant. And you might just see him play very arrogantly, because that's something he likes to do when he's Zerg. He likes to taunt his opponent, and if he beats his opponent playing arrogantly, his opponent will be crying themselves to sleep at night. But sometimes things go wrong, and well, given that Zerg against Protoss, you can just say, oh well, I played Zerg. Zerg is weaker than Protoss. I don't really care that I lost. But with players on this level, with Zerg players on this level, like Minchul, that excuse doesn't really work. It doesn't really fly, because this guy is crazy good on Zerg. JJab though, JJab, I don't know how good he is on Protoss on fastest map. I know he is a normal map player, and he is absolutely crazy on normal maps. Does that translate to fastest map? Most of the time, normal map skill translates very, very, very well, and these players can just go hard, go ham. They don't have to go home because they're going hard, and if you don't go hard, you gotta go home. But these guys are staying around, and they're staying around to put up a great fight. So what is this boxing match between these two players gonna bring us? Got a choke hatch, of course, coming out from Minchul. Pool right afterwards, still on 9 supply, and then of course the hatchery there on 11 supply, and that is the deal. That is his choice of build order, which is honestly the choice of most Zerg players on the fastest map. They go for a very safe option, they go for the choke. He hasn't really found out where... Well, he did find out, because this Overlord is right there. He knows exactly where JJab is, but he's still playing his choke a little bit safe. He's not delaying his first sunken. Some players like Rabbit would delay their very first sunken, and he's sending a drone out to the top corner of the map. He's up to something, not sure what it is, but this is a little bit of that arrogant play that we often see Minchul do. He wants to do some tricky fun stuff and still beat you, to embarrass you. And this drone here is going to the top corner because he's up to something funky. It's going to build a hatchery there on the top corner. And is he going for a proxy lurker rush? Not sure, but he's up to something, that's for sure. This hatchery there on the top corner, he's up to something funny. Something funky, something funny, something crazy, but not sure what it could be. There's so many different options that he could be going for. Maybe he's just building it there to get proxy minerals mined, because, well, if he loses his drones right here, well, he still has some drones there on the top corner of the map, which is something a lot of players actually like doing. Also, it gives him the option to get a Midas Canal out very late into the game, when he's completely boxed in. Although, I don't really see a purpose to get a Midas Canal when they're right next to each other. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is some real good purpose. Maybe having 2 directions to attack from might just be the excellent thing he needs. That aside though, we've got a robotics on the way there in the front, in the choke for JJab. And JJab is getting a lot of gas there in the back. He's getting 4 assimilated at the same time, which is honestly, that might be a little bit too much. 3 or 2 might have been enough. But maybe he really wants to go for a very high amount of robotics facilities, but he's going for Dragoons. He's getting weapon attack. He doesn't have Dragoon range yet. He's getting the Dragoon, of course, to kill that Overlord, but the weapon attack there might be a little bit early, because he can't really utilize that weapon attack this early on, but maybe he's just getting it for the future, to not be behind on upgrades. Minchul here, because he's got all the information with that now dead and gone Overlord, is going for a lot of hatcheries. He's got 4 hatcheries in total added on to his main. He's mining from 2 extractors, and he's got the Hydralisk Den finished, and he's got Hydralisk on the way, and he's got Hydralisk speed on the way, because you need speed to fight against those shuttles, and he knows the shuttles are on the way. He knows the shuttles are on the way because he only saw a single gateway in the back, and he saw all the tech structures being thrown down. Now, JJab might be making a tiny little mistake here by building 2 support bases at the same time, but maybe he has some great, big, massive plans that require 2 support bases. Maybe he's going to get damage and shuttle speed at the same time. He's also getting weapon attack for air. I don't see a Stargate yet, but he wants to get everything at the same time. That's just basically what he's doing. He's getting everything at the same time, but I do think I have an inkling of what he's going to try to do. The Reavers are on the way. The shuttle is finished. Minchul has prepared his Hydras. He's got a lot of vision here on the bottom side. He's getting vision there on the front side, and he has some vision on the top side. Although this large portion of his base is uncovered, it's still... well, actually, it's still covered by darkness, so it's not uncovered, it is... Let's leave that thought behind. Let's move on to what's happening. I was going somewhere with that line, but I couldn't quite find the words to, you know, make the sentence make sense. So the Reavers have finished. Reavers have finished. He's gonna fly over the short path, or he's gonna fly all the way around. All the way around it is, and just watch. He's gonna fly in over this dark portion of space. He's gonna fly in right over here, where Minchul has no vision whatsoever. Just watch. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So he's flying all the way around, and while he's flying all the way around, he's getting Corsairs, he's getting Scarab damage. So yes, the double support bay had a purpose to get speed and Scarab damage both at the same time, and hopefully Scarab damage will finish right when he flies in, although I doubt it. Overlord is there moving to cover and get vision of this top corner of the base. The shuttle is still on the way. He's gonna, instead of going for this portion here, because of course he doesn't know that there's no vision there, he's gonna fly in over the more conventional path, which is the most upper left corner of this left middle base, right against the side of the map. There's no Hydralisk there to intercept. He's gonna... oh, this might go dirty. No, it doesn't go dirty, because the drones are all pulling away to safety to the top corner of the map. And the Reaver is gonna shoot its last Scarab. The Scarab explodes on a single... oh, another Reaver! But, oh. You know, if this drone here was a little bit closer, all the drones would have been dead and gone, and the game would have been over. So that's a little bit of luck there for Minchul. That's a little bit of luck. But a little bit of luck, you know, sometimes that really plays into the end result of the game. So nothing wrong with a little bit of luck. Nexus number 3, they're on the way for JJab on the bottom side. Level 1 attack has finished. You're getting level 2 attack already. Shuttle number 2, so drop attempt number 2 is on the way. Ooh, he's got multiple drops coming in from 2 different directions. Corsairs turning around to attack an Overlord. This one's going to run all the way. There's Templars inside. Minchul is running away. He's trying to keep those drones alive. Storms dodges the storms, but still loses a lot of his drones. Went down from about 45 down to 33, but he kept most of them alive. But that was a tricky dodge, but he managed to do it. Super tricky stuff. Quick reactions, quick fingers, quick thinking. Although the reaction, the dodge itself, was a little bit slow because Minchul wasn't quite sure, well, he didn't notice it until later on. But at least he's still in the game. He's still in the game. More drones are on the way. More drones are spawning. And another drop attempt there on the way from JJab, who is first going to scare that Overlord away while also macroing his ass off, because he's been macroing really hard. And as you can see at the moment, the comment I made earlier about having too much gas coming in, that's something you can see happening right now. His gas is quite high. He's not able to spend it yet. He could function just about the same or even better if he had a couple more probes on the minerals and a couple less probes on the gas, and then add on another assimilator right about the 10-minute mark when his gas needs are shooting up. So the cores are hanging there on the side. Corsairs going in to distract. Drops are coming in right afterwards, but Minchul's not going to have it. Minchul's not going to fall for it. No, he falls for it, but he's going to pull those drones away. His drones are coming in. He's going to split his drones up. One half of drones goes down. Drop in front gets taken down, but most of the drones stay alive. 44 drones still alive. Very tricky setup there from JJab. Very tricky setup from the front, from the bottom, and from the bottom right. So 3 directions at the same time. 3 Templars storming, but Minchul somehow, once again, only loses a portion of his drones, not all of them. He still loses some, which still hurts, but he keeps most of them alive, which is what he wanted to do all along. Not lose his economy. But he's still pretty small. He's still pretty small, but he's managing to hang in there. Whereas Job is now preparing a frontal attack. He's getting a lot of zealots. He doesn't have a lot of robos yet, so he won't have enough shuttles to get all those units over the wall. So it's just going to be a frontal attack, I believe, at some point. And given he's got level 2 attack finished before 10 minutes, that is not an unrealistic expectation. Although now he's adding on a lot of robos though. Just as I mentioned that he doesn't have a lot of robos, he's adding on 2 more in addition to the one he was already adding on. Drops coming in, once again, 2 directions, one from the bottom right, one from the bottom left. He comes in, Templars are reloading, a lot of Zealots are reloading as well. Templars are too far away, Templars don't have energy to storm, now they do, but the storms are way too late, drones are already far away. And drones do still go down, he killed a lot of drones on the gas, killed on the hiders as well, so still a pretty good hit. The gas got disrupted, but Minchul has enough gas in the tank. He's fine in that regard, but now he's got to use his larva again to rebuild more drones once again, but he's still in the game. And he's getting a lot of income from this here on the top side. This is where most of his money is coming from, because this here keeps dying. And honestly, we're seeing his proxy income base really paying off. This has paid off massively. Has paid off massively. I'm not sure how many drones he's got here, but I think it's about 24, but it has paid off, because he's been losing drones here a lot. A lot. He's lost a lot of drones, and if he didn't have this proxy base there to get minerals into the tank, he would have been off a lot worse. Now, of course, long-distance mining like this is not as efficient as short-distance mining, but it mitigates the risk of just losing the game to a single drop. So a lot of Corsairs there prepared to fly in and escort the shuttles in. He's got 4 shuttles in total. One of them is still there in the front, but he's going to fly in from 2 different directions once again at the same time, or so I believe. I do believe we've got Disruption Web coming in. He's got a fleet beacon. Maybe he's going for carriers, but he's mostly focusing on every single upgrade at the same time. So mostly just not focusing on one thing. He's getting weapon, shield, armor, and he's getting air armor and air weapons as well. He's getting every single upgrade at the same time. He's maybe focusing a little bit too much on getting all the upgrades, because I believe that he could go for a stronger attack move than he currently can. Although a lot of his supply is in Corsairs, and Corsairs, while great to escort units in, while great to throw down disruption webs, they don't have that much fighting power as the game progresses. They are pretty much just there to escort and deny map vision. But he comes in and the escort is successful. Yes, a lot of shuttles are coming in. Drones are Templars are loading on the low ground, but he gets a storm off, hits a couple of them drones, but most of the drones stay alive. Frontal attack didn't really succeed because he doesn't have an observer there near the front. The forces are wreaking havoc, but Hydralisk's protecting the overlords from going down, and that's a lot of supply, dead and gone. And now Minchul, because he didn't really lose much economy that time around, is gonna take this moment to go really big, because he has fortified himself pretty well. Those lurkers on the bottom side are keeping units from being dropped on the bottom side. Top side, though, not that well protected. The front side, pretty well protected. More lurkers on the way there as well. He's in pretty good shape, getting his all the Evo Chamber upgrades of Hydra attack, Carapace, and Zergling, or well, melee attacks as well for his units. He's got a couple of shuttles there prepared to pick up some Reavers. Some units are going to have to be thrown away into the meat grinder, or maybe he's balling up in the middle. Proxy base on the top side is mining at full throttle. It's just all coming in. He's just getting very rich. One Corsair there still in the back getting vision. He's getting more lurkers everywhere around his base, and he's close to maxing out. And because he's close to maxing out, I believe he's going to add on a lot of hatcheries, because that is something Minchul really likes to do. He likes to play a lot of hatcheries. Not as many as Rabbit does. Rabbit makes like 40 of them. He just fills out every single little spot in his base with hatcheries. Minchul is more about having very good technology and a very good diverse attack and a very good diverse amount of units. He gets Defilers, he gets Devourers, he gets Guardians, he gets Lurkers, and he goes for very smartly placed units and structures. And getting his upgrades all at the same time, which is something a lot of players seem to be unable to do, getting all the upgrades at the same time while doing everything else also, of course, at the same time. But it looks like new Zealots found the top base there. This is bad news for Minchul, but although I do also believe that his proxy base has served its purpose, it has served its purpose. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of drones dead and gone. He has about 50 here in total in the top corner, and 40 of them already went down. I think he believed he had about 70 or 80 drones in total here, so yeah. Maybe not 50, or yeah, he had 50 here in the total on the top corner. He went down from 75 or 80 to 32. He's going to remake those drones back at home. Drop is coming in from the front side there, from the bottom. Whoa! This might hit. Doesn't hit him hard, although there's more storms ready to be thrown out, but he can't quite storm in time. The amount of lurkers is making life too difficult for him. He's trying to storm, trying to select, trying to target, but it isn't quite working out as he wants it to. Now the downside of losing all those drones to the top side is the fact that because he only has about 6 hatcheries there and one at the bottom side, one in the front has gone down, so he has about 7-8 hatcheries in total in his base. Remaking all those 50 drones he lost isn't really that quick, so it still hurts his economy, but the proxy base has served its purpose, which is what matters. It served its purpose. And that is carrying him through the early phases of the game and allowing him to have some money and a base in the later stages. But JJab is playing this pretty well. He hasn't really gone out for really strong attacks. He's mostly gone for worker harassment. We're already 15 minutes in and we still haven't really seen a really strong, big, massive attack. And I think that is going to be JJab's downfall if he's ever going to fall down. Because Minchul, I've seen Minchul reach this point many times before, and he's just looking really, really strong. He's looking really strong. Like, there's not much... It's very hard to break through this, because the spores kill observers, and he of course wants to unload Reavers inside that base, but the spores are going to kill observers, which are going to keep those lurkers alive and make them untargetable. It's just going to be a very difficult game for him to play. Although we can hang those observers pretty far away, but he flies a little bit too close to the sun, gets taken down. We still have this observer right here, and that observer is going to give him the information to unload right here. But unloading on top of the lurkers, of course, means that his Reavers take some shots before they shoot their load on those lurkers themselves. Although Minchul notices the observer, takes it down, and yeah, the attack from JJab gets delayed once again by a significant amount. Got Queens coming in, got Ensnare for sure as well. We've got level 2 upgrades on the Hydras, level 3 on the way. Same story here for JJab, although his armor on and shields are still level 1. Same for the air, 1 so the attack upgrades are almost maxed out, and the armor and shield upgrades are lagging behind. Also got Overlord speed there on, that's transportation. Overlord transportation on the way. Drop comes in, drop gets its Corsairs, it's not a drop. JJab is mostly building, and he's building really, really quick. Well, building a lot of stuff. He's going for a recall on the top side, but there's no observer, so I don't think this is gonna really do all that much. He recalls, notices that there's lurkers everywhere, tries to kill and storm the lurkers, but really not having much success. And the lurkers take down the Reavers pretty quickly. He still takes down most of the spores. He's storming on the drones on the gas. Can't quite reach the drones on the minerals. But he gets something done, but it's not much. It's basically he threw away a lot of supply, opened up a small little opening there on the top side, but he didn't achieve what he had in mind, because he wasn't expecting lurkers all over the place. He knew there were lurkers right next to the minerals, but he didn't know there were lurkers on the sides as well. So that is a bummer for JJab, because now Minchul is just going to refortify this front side even harder and even more than he did before. He's turtling really hard. He wants to secure his economy, he wants to secure his base, he wants to be safe, he wants to feel safe, he doesn't want to feel like he's exposed to any danger. And time might be running out for JJab. He's trying a lot of different options, but the one thing he hasn't tried is a simple, basic, time-proven frontal attack with Reaver, Dragoon, Observers, and Templars. That's something we always see 458 go for, just the good old classic frontal push to keep the Zerg spending their money. To make sure the Zerg keep spending their money and force the Zerg to spend on making units to defend, to never properly get an attack going. Drop comes in, drop almost. Reavers are very close, but the Reavers can't shoot their load. Ooh, but somewhere down the road, I'm sure he's gonna get something to blow all over those drones. But what it can be, I'm not quite sure, because he hasn't quite succeeded in the past 9 minutes. Minchul has played this very well. He's not playing it really, well, he's playing it fast, but he's not playing it aggressively. He's not playing it arrogantly. He has recognized that JJab is a really good player, and JJab now finally setting up for that photo push. He has given JJab the respect JJab deserves, but now can JJab live up to the respect that he's been given? Minchul has played this game 100% seriously. He's not messed around, he's not screwed around, he's not gone for any tomfoolery. He's playing completely seriously. He's not leaving anything up to chance, not trying to show off, not playing arrogantly. He's playing with respect. And that goes to show something. If Minchul plays you and he's respecting you by playing serious, it means you're serious business yourself. But it might be a little bit too late. We're 20 minutes in. JJab has tried a lot of different methods of approach. Storm drops, recalls, storm drops, recalls, storm drops. There's actually not that many different options. But now he's finally going for the best option. The frontal reaver push, hopefully assisted by shuttle drops on the drones. But it just looks almost impossible to get in there. There's Hydras on every single drop pathway. He's got spores to... Oh, the great disruption vector, though, to allow the courses to take down the Guardians. The Guardians were there to protect and help defend. Guardians on top of spores and Sunkens really makes attacking through the front door really difficult. But he's shutting that down. Although the disruption webs are ending, and the courses are overstaying their welcome and getting pushed away again. And the reason the front can't really push through because this one sunken around the corner and that sunken around the corner are basically, they can't be touched by the Reavers. Because they can't be touched by the Reavers or can't be seen by the Reavers, the Reavers crawl forward too much into sunken range. They basically can't shoot on this frontal sunken portion, which is very terrible, very, very inconvenient for JJab. He's gonna try, but look. The Reavers are just very dumb. The Reavers are just very, very, very dumb, and that's what we're seeing right there. He's trying to make them target stuff, but they just crawl into range. They just won't. They refuse to listen. They're being stupid. One thing you can do is put them here in a hold position and they might shoot, but sometimes they won't. It's all up to stupid coding and understanding exactly how the coding works and where it doesn't work and where it does work, because each map is unique. Minchul seems to have gone away from keyboard, maybe to the toilet, because APM is dropping very, very far, and JJab is doing nothing at the moment, really. Both players have gone already. Oh, he's building a proxy base there on the bottom side, although this is also one of the few things I always mention is that the more time you take to build as a Protoss, the more time you're not spending attacking your opponent. And Minchul is now getting arrogant. Minchul is now getting arrogant. Because he knows he's completely fine. He knows he's completely fortified. He knows he's got nothing to be afraid of. So he's just taking his time. He's waiting for JJab to attack him. He's waiting. He's saying basically by doing nothing at all, I'm here. Give it your best shot. He's taunting him. And just overlords moving to the sides. Overlords moving to the sides. I know something has a unit in it because I've heard a unit being uploaded into an overlord, but apparently I was wrong. There's no unit inside any overlords whatsoever. He's maxed out on upgrades. Mind control's on the way there for JJab. He's basically at wit's end. He doesn't know what to do. He just doesn't know what to do. That's why he's got so many Stargates, because he might as well be thinking, no, I don't know what to do. Might as well go for carriers at some point. Maybe this is for mass Corsairs, but the mass Corsairs I don't think are a great option, because that means he doesn't have a lot of units to fight with. Maybe he kills some drones, but both players just getting richer, and the game has turned into a snooze. So excuse me, but I'm gonna grab some booze while these two guys are just staring off and picking and deciding what to choose and how they're gonna do this. They've got a lot to lose here. So this is what it was up to. This is what it was up to. This is what he was up to. Gonna pause the game because this is a beauty to watch. This is quite beautiful to watch. This looks ominous. Screenshot? On the tape. Means now we're gonna turn back everything. Screenshots on the table for the thumbnail. I mean, it just looks pretty. But if you know the contacts, you know that this might not do the trick because he's flying in, but there's the ensnares killing all of the illusions or hallucinations, and he doesn't even get close. He doesn't even get close. He doesn't even get the recall. He doesn't even get to recall. Jab's party, I mean our party, because we were pretty excited about that one. He's gonna try again. He's got so many temples of energy. He's gonna just make a lot more of them. He's gonna split them up. Fake one, real one. Where's the real one? There's the real one. This is the fake one. I'm gonna send him in from 2 different directions. Minchul knows so because he saw the arbiters with the Overlord vision. He knows this is coming. Where is it coming from? Bottom side? Top side? Which one is the real one? The bottom side has to be spotted out, so this might give away the trick, might give away the party. Yeah, he comes in for the top side. Queens aren't ensnaring because they don't have energy, but he's gonna recall on top of everything, and he recalls on top of Sunkens and Lurkers, and this is a disaster. All of the supply, 75 supply, dead and gone. He's rebuilding it really quickly. He's building mass carriers. He wants carriers. He's done with this approach. He just saw that, alright, this isn't working. This is a failure. This is going bad. Jab is walking into a brick wall. He had his chance earlier into the game, but it didn't quite work out because he thought he was further ahead than he actually was with drops. Because he didn't, of course, know that Minchul had a proxy base, and a proxy base carried Minchul through the game. And by the time Jab figured out it was a proxy base, it was maybe already too late. Although actually it wasn't, but he still kept playing with an approach that I don't really agree with as being the best choice of action. He's going for carriers, and Minchul's still sitting back. Minchul is still taunting him, he's still laughing. All the way there back at home in his seat, he's laughing and saying, "What you gonna do, Jab? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Jab? What you got up in store for me? What you gonna do?" He just doesn't know. He just doesn't know what to do. He's got carriers on the way, but carriers, I believe, are not really the option. Because look at how many spores there are, look at how many hydras, look at the ensnares, and he's got the fire mount as well for plagues. But Minchul, of course, doesn't yet know it carries him on the way, but he's waiting. He's waiting for Jab to show his hand. But Jab, of course, is taking his time because carriers are very slow. Which means I just have to fill up this time talking about absolutely nothing at all because nothing is happening. And I hope I'm doing a good job because honestly, I thought this game would be way more action-packed. It had some great action at the start, but now I'm just talking nonsense to keep the game going because not much is happening. Although this is quite exciting because this means we're going to see some stuff go down very soon. This is basically the calm before the storm. This is going to be a big, heavy, wild storm. Is it going to be one that it ravages through all it encounters, or is it going to be a dud? Is it going to be a couple of raindrops, leaving us wondering, is there more rain coming, or is this all? Is this all the rain weather had in store for us today? Log carriers are ready to go in. Maxed out on upgrades, still waiting for interceptors. He doesn't have interceptor capacity! What are you doing? What are you doing? He doesn't have interceptor capacity, and he knows that he doesn't have it. But he still goes in with a couple of interceptors, not that many. And snares coming in. Oh, he's going for the hive. Is the hive going to go down? There's no Devours to debuff. Sorry, but I overshot there. I'm holding a glass in my hand because I was trying to get a drink. But now the hive is taking some real damage there. But the carriers are pretty quick as well. The hive is going to go down. Is it not? Is it going to go down? Or is it not? Yeah, it is gonna go down for sure. The carriers are pretty damn strong. Yeah, it goes down, but so do the carriers, and now Jab, because he didn't want to wait for his interceptor capacity to finish and to have all his good. This is a disaster, and now Minchul is just like, I don't care about my hive. I'm gonna move into the middle of the map and go for the attack. Well, this looks very bad for Jab. Because Minchul is breaking free. He's got his moment. He wants to break free. You can't hold him back. You can't tell him what to do. He's just going to do his own. He's going to make his own path into the middle of the map and break through the front door there, where it's only 2 cannons protecting. A couple temples there as well, but not that much there at all. A couple carriers are left alive here back at home, but more carriers are on the way. Reavers are on the way, but the Reavers are being built from these robotics that are directly under siege. The Storms are doing a great job of keeping Minchul back, but so many units streaming in. Units coming in non-stop, sending them across the map. Lurkers coming in as well. Guardians to the backside there. Reavers are spawning on top of the Lurkers. What a disaster. Reavers are mostly going down. They spawn on the wrong side of the door. Set out the bat on the wrong side. Forces trying to kill the Guardians, but the Guardians are just repositioning themselves a slight inch, and they are protected by the Hydras. But the Storm's going in from the backside there and successfully take most of it down. Now the Templars are running out of energy. The carriers are not doing that great either. The string of units is just non-stop. It's constant. He's building arbiters now as well. Zealots are on the way from the backside there. He's got some observers, but observers are not really helping because there's no units to support, and JJab just calls it a quit. He calls GG because Minchul is in his front door. Or, well, actually, he's in the hallway. He already broke down the front door. There's not much left to protect him. This is menacing. And weird game. JJab just seemed to lose all steam. He had no more options left in his eyes. He thought he had no more options left in his eyes. Minchul just deflected everything with ease. After a very difficult early game, the second half was a breeze. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game. A little bit unexpected how this one unfolded, but I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope it was entertaining. It was somewhat entertaining to me. Although it also had its low points, it had its high points as well. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching. It was RJB for RJB TV. The video was sponsored by RJB from RJB TV, who will bring you RJB TV broadcasts sometime soon again in the near future. Thank you for watching, and have a good sleep. Sleep well. Good night.